Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Leo energy. We're going to use the energy oracle cards and then we'll use tarot on it to clarify and fill out the story. Okay. So, we're going to be talking about the people who are moving forward in a positive Leo energy, being emotionally brave and confident, willing to step into the spotlight of their life. And then we're also going to talk about the people who reject that energy. So they're kind of more of in a shadowy Leo energy. It's more about looking like they're in the spotlight, but they're really not maybe connected in with their emotions or coming from the energy of love and hope and faith and belief. You could be someone dealing with a Leo sun sign and they're the ones in shadowy energy and you're the one in positive energy, or vice versa, regardless of your sun sign that you're born under, because we all have to deal with Leo energy. It's about our being emotionally brave and being emotionally strong and confident in our life. So let's see what we got going on here. It looks like some people, the first story I definitely see is some people who are maybe weren't in positive energy before and they had some attachments from the past, and those attachments can be self-limiting beliefs, fear, insecurity, afraid of moving forward because they're being emotionally confident, or just stepping into the spotlight of their life because they're afraid of being hurt. It looks like some of those people learn their lessons, and they could be giving a lot of thought to being willing to move forward in their life and out of their old comfort zone to maybe move into a relationship where they work together with others and they finally learn the lesson of going through the door to personal healing and happiness. For other people who did decide to stay in shadowy energy, they had a cycle end on them. They still haven't gotten over their attachments, and because of that, the people they were dealing with were ready to move forward in that positive manner, and these people weren't, so a cycle ended on them, and the other people moved forward. So let's take a look here. Let's first look at the attachments. Oh, what kind of attachments are people dealing with to be able to move forward? Okay. Well, for those people who are harnessing positive Scorpio energy, you are defending your future. And in your future, you want to take that Queen of Wands, emotionally bold, confident, inspired action in your life. And you are protecting yourself against anyone who might come towards you who wants to repeat past patterns of the past, which maybe weren't in the energy of love necessarily. They've still got issues to work out, but they kind of want to work with you because maybe they worked with you before, and but they haven't learned their lessons from the past. So um, you've learned your lessons of the past, and it's like, no, I'm moving forward in my life. For the people in shadowy energy, they are repeating past patterns of this past, and they are defending the fact that they are taking like emotionally manipulative action, because you either come from the energy of love or not love. And if you're not coming from the energy of love, you're coming from fear, insecurity, greed, selfishness, codependency. And so the people who are still um, chained and only take off their mask in private, but whenever they go out in public, they put their mask back on. They're not willing to step into the spotlight of their life. They're not willing to take bold, confident, brave Leo action in their life. These people are kind of restricted. They're held down by some foundation that got pounded into the ground somewhere in their psyche or in their past foundation, and they haven't gotten to where they can unchain themselves from it yet. So those people are still repeating past cycles of the past. They could be either reuniting with people from their past or getting in the same type of relationships like they've always been in. And needless, we've all been there, you know. And at this point in time, they're just not ready to take that bold, confident action in their life. So it tends to be a little bit more emotionally manipulative out of fear and insecurity, you know. Like I say, we've all been in those relationships where our friends and family are like, oh my gosh, why are you still in that relationship? You know, we're not ready to move forward yet. You know, we hadn't learned the lessons we needed to learn to unchain ourselves from what kept us in that type of relationship. We didn't know our worth and value, you know. So the people who aren't ready to move forward, the Four of Pentacles talks about not really working together well with others, not willing to move forward, holding on to the foundation that you're not ready to give up yet. And some people decided with the Queen of Wands, it's like, nope, I'm moving forward to the world. Which the world energy talks about having learned your lessons, and I'm letting go of this past cycle. I have learned my lessons. And you could have been, those of you who are moving forward, either you are letting go of this aspect within yourself because you've learned your lessons. It can be about not opening up, being afraid to work with others, afraid to move forward. Could be about people being a little selfish and greedy. Could be people wanting to really hold on to something like a relationship or a way of being, like, I think for sure this will work for me. And then it's like, oh my gosh, this isn't working. I need to move forward. And some people can be selfish and greedy, and that's why they don't want to move forward in their life. Okay, so we start out the reading with the action card. People decide to take action, to go on a journey, and whatever choice we make, we're always going to learn life lessons. There is no choice that is wasted. I mean, later you might feel like, gee, I wish I learned my lesson earlier and moved on. But, we move on when we're ready to move on. So we have the action card here. For the people who weren't ready to move forward in loving reciprocal relationships because they don't really offer that loving and compassion and forgiveness to themselves to get over the past and heal those wounds and feel more positive about themselves and move forward, those people, if they were in a relationship with someone, they were overwhelmed. And so, because the other people were willing to move forward and they're not ready, and so they decided, I'm not ready to move forward in this manner, so I'm going to walk away and instead I'm going to have a new beginning. And they just think they're going to repeat the same old cycles of the past, which is maybe what they're going to try to do to be in the comfort zone they're familiar with. But the Sun is a universe card. Unbeknownst to them, the universe is going to reveal some things to them about themselves because the universe wants us to learn and grow and expand and reach our full potential. They don't want us staying in fear and insecurity or pride and ego and stuff. So, so right now this person is ignoring love and they're choosing, to be either want to reunite with someone from their past maybe that hurt them, or they just still want to stay more in triangulated relationships where it's a little more emotionally manipulative. They don't quite have to reveal themselves and authentically be themselves. And so they're going to go on a journey. So the journey is like, here we go. Whatever way you decide, the universe says, okay, let's go. Let's go learn a lesson. You can either have hope, faith, and belief that will help you on your journey, or you're going to try to do it on your own and you're going to learn some lessons. And so anyway, the journey the people in shadowy kind of Leo energy went on, they could have been in a very stable foundation, but they were defensive of moving forward in a positive manner. So they decided, you know what, I think instead I want to go be pampered in life and be surrounded by the luxuries of life and just look like I have victory. So I'm going to end this relationship with you because I'm considering what I want to invest in next. And possibly because they got offered a new financial beginning with someone who they view as being very stable and abundant. So it's like, I think I'll go the materialistic route. Tell us about the rest of rejuvenation card. You know, this person decided, I don't want to put in the work and effort to move forward in that creative, inspired manner. I'm going to move forward with my long term plan. And I'm going to be really happy being stuck in my pride and ego. And I'm just going to try to balance out my emotions about this whole situation because they don't want to see things from anyone else's perspective. Another thing is they might, the Three of Cups, the person from their past that they ignored love because they were focused on an emotional relationship they'd had in the past. And it might be with a Pisces. This is a Virgo energy. This is a Pisces. It doesn't have to be those specific sun signs, but that's the energies from which they're operating from. In their Virgo earth sign building stability, they feel like they can have long term success and happiness with a Pisces. But this person is a little bit stuck in their pride and ego. So they're making an offer to somebody who they might see as emotionally someone they can work with, but they're doing it out of pride and ego and to prove a point because they don't want to move forward in the energy of love. But they're going to try to balance out their emotions. They are coming across as a King of Cups, or they're approaching somebody who they feel is somebody that is a King of Cups, which comes from Cancer energy, emotional water sign energy. So they get in this relationship because they maybe kind of have an attachment. They could reunite with someone like their past or from their past. And they're focused on that and they're defensive of moving forward in an emotionally bold, confident way. If they are going to move forward, they want to be in a shady, kind of emotionally manipulative way. So then we have the World. Maybe that relationship didn't work out for them because the World is about things ending. Maybe the person they went to was tapped into their emotions and is emotionally connected, and it's like, yeah, no, I don't. I thought you presented yourself like a King of Cups, somebody who's nurturing and loving, but you seem to have an energy about you of wanting to win at all costs, which is where you kind of treat your partner almost like they're the enemy you have to defeat. So a cycle ended, but they might not want to show us what happened. Yeah, and what happened is somebody moved away from their over here. Um, they're in the Five of Swords, which is that kind of win at all costs. And in the Six of Swords, somebody saw the truth and clarity of that and they moved away. It is possible if this person was overwhelmed over here about moving forward in a positive way, they could have been dealing with someone who was in positive Leo energy. They're emotionally bold and confident as a Queen of Wands. So this person got into this relationship maybe because they were being stubborn and trying to prove a point with their former partner. So they got in a relationship with this person, but they're unwilling to move forward because they're still attached to this former relationship. Like I say, they could have just gotten in this situation for pride and ego. So somebody moved away. Maybe now this person's in a mental prison. They would like to maybe have some intimacy and creativity in their life. That's what the second chakra talks about. But in order to do that, they'd have to walk away from their kind of shady, prideful, arrogant, stubborn way of being and be willing to connect in with the energy of love and start working together with people emotionally and be willing to heal from their past issues and see life from a different perspective. Up here in the Hangman Pisces, the universe does that. So this person went to go have a new beginning thinking, I'm just going to leave this behind. I'm going to go be surrounded by luxuries of life. I'm going to look victorious and I'm going to leave this relationship behind. And I'm going to go over here and be really happy with this Pisces, or being in my Pisces dreamy emotional energy. Little did they know that the universe was going to enlighten them in that relationship. And when they tried to do what they did in it, the other person left them because it's like, I don't want to deal with somebody who's in pride and ego. So this person's going to either have to repeat the same past pattern and be stuck up in their fears and insecurities, or they're going to have to start doing the work to, work together with others emotionally and heal so that they can see that there's other ways of operating in the world with the adjacent possibilities. And they would need to connect in with their emotional side and become more emotionally self-aware, and to become enlightened. The seventh chakra is about, being connected in with like the universe and the divine. And they will have to get emotionally clear about their thinking, logic, and reasoning. Oh, yes. And someone here in the world card who moved away. It could have been a Capricorn who moved away from them, or a cycle closed on somebody who is in toxic energy again about, I'm going to be really happy going in this other relationship where I don't think I can just repeat past cycles of the past. I can keep being in my pride and ego and still be oblivious of seeing anything from any other perspective but my own. And, people keep moving away from them because it's like, who wants to work with someone like that? They better go find somebody else who's in really toxic energy and codependent like they are and willing to put up with their wanting to win at all costs attitude, not caring who they hurt, because normal people aren't really maybe going to put up with that. So let's go see. Let's go look at what are some of the shadow aspects of these people who move forward in shadowy Leo energy. What are some of their shadow aspects? They're impulsive and they're inconsistent. What is it that these shadowy Leo energy people need to surrender? They need to surrender to their soul's path. It says your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. Because they need to surrender their habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. So, yeah, sometimes people are afraid of stepping into the spotlight of their life. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, because like the world says everybody has to look like this and be like this. And they've maybe been somebody who's been like that. And it's like, oh my gosh, if I were to like, I don't know, be emotionally bold and confident and kind of live my own life. For one thing, they'd maybe have to separate from, some old foundations and ways of being. It might cause some major disruption in their life, maybe with their original family or their, if it's all been about status and image and the people they hang around, that would maybe, cause some disruption. And it's kind of like, well, what do you want to do? But anyway, impulsive and inconsistent. Let's go see about you positive Leos. Positive Leos decide to take action. What action did the positive Leos take? You want to have a happy, creative, inspired sense of peace of mind within yourself, and you want to be in relationships with other people that are loving and kind and reciprocal. And so you moved away from any energies or people or energies within yourself that had an energy of wanting to win at all costs and had mental conflict. And you decided, I'm moving forward. I deserve to have the Nine of Cups is about emotional wish fulfillment. It's like, I deserve to be happy in my life. And if it was you who maybe before had went on this shadowy path, and or you had been dealing with someone like that, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be with people like this. This is never going to bring me emotional wish fulfillment. Me or the people I deal with being stuck in pride and ego, making it all about being surrounded by luxuries of life, because I'm overwhelmed about stepping into the spotlight of my life, that's over. So you went on a journey. What was the journey the positive Leos went on? You said, I'm rising above any of my own inner conflict. I no longer feel the need that I have to compete with anyone. And if anybody wants to argue or fight or draw me into feeling like I need to compete for them, it's like, I'm done with that. I'm moving forward. I'm going to take this creative, inspired opportunity that the universe gives us all every day to move forward in confidence and belief and having hope and faith that I'm moving forward in that. Those other people can fight amongst themselves. Tell us about the rest and rejuvenation that the positive Leos went towards. And the number on the rest and rejuvenation card is a 10, which talks about completing a cycle. Yep, and this is the Ten of Wands. You have really given it a lot of creative, inspired effort to maybe connect in with yourself. This person kind of looks like they're meditating and connecting in with, you know, your higher belief system of what you believe is possible. And when a person is willing to keep giving it that creative, inspired effort, it can feel overwhelming, but when you finish the cycle with the tens, that's when you can drop it because you've done the work and effort. You've worked through the issue, you've worked through the fears, insecurities, the self-limiting beliefs. You've thought about all the dreams and things you're passionate about, you've worked through all the feelings, and when you're done with that, that's when you get to drop all the wands and pick up the one ace of wands and take that creative inspired action in your life. Tell us about the attachment. That is a number 5, which is about change. And again, the person in that picture is dressed in white, which can be about purity. And they have the mask off their face. So it's like, you know what? I'm taking the mask off. I'm stepping into my life. And it's like you are going from this whole experience that you've went through, either within yourself or with having dealt with someone before. It's like you've learned all the lessons. The whole point is that we're on a soul's journey to keep learning about, what do I value? What do I think is important? What do I think is important and valuable about me? Do I think I have worth and value? Do I think deserve to treat myself in a loving, kind manner? Do I think I deserve to be in other relationships where people treat me in a reciprocal, loving, kind manner? It's all this thing about learning and growing about yourself. So you've learned a lot of lessons. You might feel like if you were dealing with someone who moved away and was defensive to a very stable foundation because they decided to be more about materialism and looking like they had some victory, thinking they could just be stuck in their pride and ego, you probably feel like you've been through a battle. The Nine of Wands can feel like you've been wounded. The guy's got a bandage on their head. But you've taken the lessons from this experience to now use those lessons to protect yourself in having good boundaries. And you're putting in the work and effort for your long term stability and success, knowing that to be in Gemini loving energy is a free will choice. And that's what you choose. And that's the type of relationships you want to be in. Tell us about the World card. Positive Leos, having learned their lessons of the past and closing out an old cycle and way of being, thinking, perceiving. There might be someone you were dealing with. The reason for the reading is 8 of Swords. You could have been dealing with someone that just lives up in their head. I don't know. They're so afraid of what other people would say or think, or they have all these voices in their own head about why they can't align with having hope, faith, and belief, or connecting in with the energy of self-love or something. That if that was them or it was you, there was an energy here of people wondering what they should invest in. The people, you've closed out a cycle on people who are in shadowy energy. And when those people wondered what they should invest in, they decided to walk away after they'd invested 8 cups of emotions in a relationship. And then they decided, no, I'm going to walk away and I'm going to go offer love to someone else who's maybe offering me a new emotional beginning. And I'm going to make a mind over heart decision because I just want to be surrounded by luxuries in life and look like I'm moving forward in a victorious manner, even though I'm not connected in with being bold and brave and confident in my life. This will make me look like I'm successful because they think this relationship will bring them that. So they made a mind over heart decision to do that. And you positive Leos are saying, you know what? Um, Looking back at what I had invested in before, if you were in a relationship or if that was just you before, that you see that working with people who aren't willing to put in the work and effort to step into their authenticity and take emotionally brave, confident action to move forward in reciprocal love, they're never going to bring you wish fulfillment. So you're walking away from them and you are accepting this offer from the universe that says, come over here and keep moving forward. Keep having hope, faith, and belief that your dreams can come into reality. And you're offering your emotions to listen to that, and you are going to come into balance by accepting this love and moving forward in this way. You are going to be able to come into balance between your heart and your mind to keep moving forward in your life. You know, initially you might be up in your head some about it, um, but you're going to tap into your creativity and you are going to walk away having hope, faith, and belief to the door to romance and working together with others as possible with the community card here, that you might reunite with someone or just start working together with someone emotionally, or you just start working on your own emotional foundation within yourself. And as you do that, you're going to keep healing and you're going to start to see all the possibilities, that there's so many options, instead of sitting in regret or fear or insecurity. It's like, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, why not be excited about it? you know just start going down a path and coming from a place of self-love and all that stuff, and see what the world's got to offer you. And being balanced in your emotional state, yin yang is kind of balancing our feminine and our masculine energies. So kind of being balanced between our emotional state and how we actually take action in the world. And that is part of being authentically yourself, that you don't present a facade and wear a mask like that attachment card. You're authentically yourself. The way you try to present yourself in the world is authentic to how you feel internally. And when you do all that, you are at the highest, most enlightened way of being, which is connected in with the divine and universe and in flow with the universe, and saying, I believe all things are possible and I'm creative and I'm inspired and I'm coming from an energy of love. And you will take time to emotionally think about what you want to have in your future. And the fourth chakra is about love and compassion and self-acceptance, regarding the fact that you dealt with people in the past who were deceitful, or you in the past were deceiving yourself. And now you want to take, maybe you were deceived by somebody who was more, presented themselves as stable and abundant, but they maybe really weren't. They could have had money, but they really weren't emotionally stable. And maybe instead you're going to kind of take more action in the world, about what it really means to move forward in your life, listening to your heart and your intuition. Okay, where are we at? 29 minutes. I think we did that. Let's see, what kind of a shadowy archetype were the shadowy people operating from? People who are kind of in shadowy Leo energy. They were an addict, child, magical, alchemist, and damsel. They compromise their integrity and honesty because of addictive patterns, which end up taking authority over their inner belief. And they have pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. They don't think that action is required, like personal growth is required for them to have success in their life. And they misuse their power and knowledge. And they kind of wait for other people to bring their dreams into life, instead of taking action themselves. And they can be seduced by romantic illusion, which this person was hoping to have happiness with the Pisces energy. And our Pisces water sign energy is that emotional, creative, dreamy side of us, but it can get us caught up in illusion and delusion. So they might have thought this person that they were going to go towards and have happiness. They maybe thought that this person would be all this wonderful emotional Pisces energy, and they might have found out the fact that the person they got involved with was kind of just like them. That's kind of more in pride and ego and stubborn and unwilling to see things from anybody else's perspective. So then either one or both of them could have been defensive at putting in work and effort into this relationship because they paused to consider what they had invested in, and they decided to walk away. And it's like, okay, yep, universe, divine, I do want to be in the energy of love, because that was heartbreaking to go about it the way I did. And I want to be balanced. So they're going to give a lot of thought to, maybe also this talks about intimacy in relationships. It's like maybe now, instead of going towards people, I don't know, maybe just a little bit more driven by following whatever they're kind of passionate and lustful about, they're going to walk away and actually be like, I want more to life than just intimacy. I actually want love and romance. I want to work together with people from an emotional foundation where we can heal and be happy, and we see all the possibilities, being emotionally balanced, where we become enlightened about the world. So there you go, Leo. I think we have covered what could be going on in this story. So I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.